to opt out. And then I will compare a few opt-out solutions. And I know you guys are mostly engineers, you like numbers. So I will show some examples with numbers. And then Jimmy will introduce a little bit about what is long-term care and the importance of it. And then, bear with me. So my name is Jennifer, and I have 6 years accounting and finance background. I went to University of Michigan and also Wisconsin. After graduation, I went to Big Four accounting firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers. But I chose the entrepreneur's route from 2017 to become a full-time entrepreneur. Our mother company is AGA, which is ranking Fortune 500 124. And this year, I'm going to be one of the partners in our 300 partners. And in my team, I have 10-ish licensed people. And these are our main clientele. People in the United States and Canada, and also people from Asia who want to immigrate or invest in the United States. So just a very quick summarize of what we do. So we're basically financial brokers or financial advisors from insurance and investment product to mutual fund to retirement plan, education plan, and long-term care, and also trust. We work with lawyers. And these are the individual and family financial plan. And for a company financial plan or small business owners, we can help to do key person insurance for 1K design or retirement plan. And we're brokers, which means we don't have our product our own. So we represent industry very top companies like Nationwide today, and also Allianz, Voya, Symetra, Jackson, Fidelity, all of those companies. So we're like financial Amazon. 我们就像金融超市一样，没有任何的产品，我们是代理，就是业界非常大的公司的产品，那就是帮助客户去挑选适合客户的 financial plan. So today we're going to, definitely talk about a Washington long-term care, which is to focus on the long-term care insurance and a little bit about the life insurance part. So what is Washington CARES Fund? So I usually like to talk about, what is it, who is required, and how much we need to pay, etc. So what is it in summary? So every W-2 employee in Washington need to pay a premium, which is a tax through mandatory payroll. So you have to pay it if you're a W-2 employee in Washington. So who is required to do that? And it's for every W-2 and also 1099 employees or small business owners. And how much you need to pay, it is 0.58% of the individual compensation, which including salary, bonus, your RSUs, etc. And you need to pay it until your retirement. And for each $100 earned, you need to pay $0.58, and there's no limitation. For example, if you earn 100K, you need to pay $580 every year until retirement. And if you earn 200K, then you need to pay $160. 300K, which is $1,740 to tax to the Washington CARES Fund. And if you are earning $500,000, you need to pay $2,900. So it is not a small amount. And I know you guys definitely think about what's the alternative options for opt-out. And if you don't choose to opt out, then the tax will be automatically deduct from your payroll. And the benefit you can get? The benefit you can get is only $36,500 per person for your whole life, which is just the very minimum. So definitely you're thinking about what are the alternatives. So we're going to talk about alternatives just in 1 or 2 minutes. So before that, I wanted to talk about the timeline wise. So this Washington CARES Fund will be valid from January 1st, 2022, and each employee will need to be paying the tax from the payroll. And if you don't want to pay the tax, you have to have your own long-term care insurance before November 1st of this year to qualify to be exempted from the payroll tax. And after getting your own private long-term care insurance, then you can apply for exemption from October 1st of this year. So in summary, it's very clear that you either choose to participate in the Washington CARES Fund or you buy your long-term care insurance by yourself. That's very easy. And after getting your own long-term care insurance, how to apply the exemption. you just need to provide a written notification, a copy of your letter to prove that. So if I want to choose opt-out, what is qualified to be the private long-term care insurance to have the exemption? These are the three categories. The first one is long-term care rider on annuities and life insurance or life insurance. Second is the private long-term care insurance. Third is the long-term care rider under group coverage. So I know today, I'm not sure whether any of you from Microsoft, I think most of you guys from Amazon. So, but I compared the two companies' internal solutions. So this is the Microsoft, get a little bit. So this is the Microsoft provides private policy, which is a private long-term care option from a broker like us. And it is working through Transamerica to provide a Microsoft employee an individual policy. And then the deadline is June 10th for you to apply through Microsoft. And I will show that maybe in 5 to 10 minutes and compare with you the numbers, how much Microsoft option cost and how much, other alternatives cost and how to compare. The Microsoft don't provide group plan. So we only have A or B. These are two options. Let me compare A and B to you. So this is a brief, map showing about these two options. Option one is long-term care rider plus life insurance. So it is valid for H-1B and F-1, valid for green card. So you just basically use your after-tax money to invest in life insurance and plus a long-term care rider. I usually compare a financial vehicle from this aspect. First is the return and risk. Second is the tax, how we pay tax. Third is about flexibility. Can we use the money? How we can use the money? And the last one is the role in your holistic financial plan. So looking at option one, the insurance investment part, it actually has investment return. It is directly invested into S&P 500, and long term we can get 6 to 8% return rate. And I can share with you. So they are different because we indirectly invest into the S&P strategy. They are different strategies, but these are just the two examples. The first one is S&P 500 index. And for this product or this strategy, it has a guaranteed floor, which means 保本，就是你的钱不会丢掉。这一个策略它有不同的策略，但是大同小异。这一个策略它是保本0.75，然后封顶是3.75， which means your money put in, you will never go below 0. And we can look at historical return from year 1 to year 25. So this line is the average in S&P index change. Sometimes it's 7%, sometimes it's like 16%. But after 保底封顶, which means no lose money adjustment from year 1 to 25, no matter it's 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 25 years, the average return is normally 8%. Sometimes can even go higher to 9%. And we can look at the details. This is the 20-year historical return. For example, 2001 S&P index changes minus 10%, but this strategy gives you 0.75%. This year, 2008, the market went down 38%, and also the IUL insurance product guarantee you have the 0.75% return rate. So I just want to show this basically for your understanding. If you want to dive in, how it works and what are the different strategies, what are the difference, you can make an appointment with me at least like 30 minutes after the webinar, so I can help you to better understand. Okay, so we just talk about the return part. It's never lose money, and the average return rate you can see from the historical is 8%-ish. And for tax part, the capital gain, you don't need to pay tax, which means if you put into 10K, it becomes 100K. The 90K you gain, which is the capital gain, you don't need to pay tax. And for when you take out the money, no income tax, so never tax anymore. And how flexible can we use the money? That's what Danielle just asked. For investment part, you can basically, normally you can start using it once you have the cash value. Usually it's from 3rd year or 4th year, and you can use for any purpose. You can use it for your down payment of next house, your kids' education, etc. When I show a specific case, maybe in 10 minutes, you will see how much money you can use. And so this is the investment insurance part. For the long-term care rider part, you can use it when you need to use the long-term care. Jimmy will talk about later more about what is long-term care, how you can qualify. But in Chinese, very shortly, it means when you 你自己不能穿衣，不能吃饭，不能自己如厕，不能移动等等的，有6项满足2项的时候，你就可以 qualify long-term care， 那你就可以用那个 long-term care benefit. So the position of the first choice, it is a long-term and very stable and also after tax saving investment. A lot of people use it after 5 to 10 years when their kids go to education or when they want to change a house or when they're going to retire. So I'll show you the numbers later on. And also you can add a long-term care rider, 附加条款, on top of the insurance investment part. So the second option is long-term care insurance. For nationwide product, it's not open for H1B and F1. It's open for green card. And it's after tax money, or you can use your pre-tax HSA money. So it's guaranteed premium, guaranteed long-term care. You probably don't understand what does that mean. When I show you example, you understand more. But in Chinese, it's 保证本金. For example, if you put into 100K, your 100K will eventually be there. So it's not use it or waste it. And it's cash indemnity. Jimmy will talk about more, maybe about cash indemnity. And for tax, so when you use the money for long-term care, no tax if you use the money below HIPAA per diem, which is 12,000 per month. That's a pretty high amount. So usually you don't need to pay tax when using the money for long-term care. And it is only used for long-term care, so no cash value. 这个产品呢，你只能够用来做长期护理。So the role of the product, it is just for long-term care, and your cash put into it is guaranteed 保本的寿险，长期护理险。Then I'm going to show you a few examples so you can understand more about the number part. So firstly, let's use an example, which is age 35 female. Age 35 female, use this as an example. So with 200K income, 35岁女性20万的收入，我们用这样的一个例子。With the 200K income, then you need to pay $1160 per year for into the LTCares Fund if you don't opt out. And the benefit you can get is only $365. 如果你要付1160，那你只能够得到36500。如果你是不选择 opt out， 那肯定我们不会选这个 option， 因为它太贵了。Then let's see if we choose the second option, long-term care insurance with nationwide, how much you can. 微软内部的话，它是从76岁开始看，所以我就是用76岁来算。35岁到76岁，就是大概是41年的时间，所以乘以41。So if you don't opt out, you need to pay $47,560, and then you only get $365.00 back. With those similar amount of money, if you choose nationwide long-term care, how much you can get back? So for age 35 female, if you put $4,869 per year just for 10 years, you only need to pay 10 years. Total is $48,000, which is very similar as $48,000 if you don't choose opt out. And by age 76, how much long-term care you can get? So this is age 76. you can get 650, almost 652K, which is definitely much bigger than 360, 500, from the Washington government. So this is the long-term, nationwide long-term care option. Then let's see if you choose Microsoft or Amazon internal option, how much you can get. 6, which is age 35, and this is the Microsoft, welcome Microsoft employee. This is Microsoft calculator, and with Transamerica company. And if we choose deferred option, it only gives you 50K long-term care, which is 2 minimums. So let's choose tailored option, which means you can get more than 50K. So for a female 35-year-old, annual premium you need to pay 847, and by age of 76, you can only get 270K, 272K ish. So I think it's very clear, right? With nationwide, if we buy a private long-term care, we can get more than 650K with similar amount of investment or money put in. And with Microsoft internal Transamerica products, you can only get 270. And I think somebody shared just a screenshot with me about Amazon option. It looks totally the same. So if you want me to help you look into your computer and help you compare, we can do after this webinar. But I'm pretty much sure Amazon internal product looks the same as this one part. So we just look at the long-term care, nationwide long-term care. By putting into 78K, we can get 652K long-term care. And Microsoft/Amazon, I would say, internal product, put it into 840 for 41 years. Total investment 40K-ish, and you only get 270. So I just want to make it more comparable. So I use 48687 divide 34741. 34741. So it's 1.4, which means 40就是48 48000这个数字是34000的 1.4 倍。我是想 compare， 如果是同样的价钱的话，那用 Microsoft 或者是 Amazon 内部的 solution 我到底是怎么样的？那就是 1.4 倍，你可以看到，那如果我用27万乘以 1.4 倍得到这个数38万，就是如果我付出，我在 Microsoft 或者Microsoft 和 Amazon， 我用同样的投入，就是4万8，我得到的是38万的 long-term care， 所以的话，最后65万和38万这样来对比，我不知道有没有问题。Long-term care with Microsoft and Amazon internal solution, you can see. Let's use 652,000 divide this number 387, which is 1.7. So basically the conclusion is the outsider nationwide long-term care benefit is 1.7 times the Microsoft and Amazon internal long-term care. When we just talk about option 2, only focus on long-term care. Is that clear? Okay. Then let's look at option 1, which is long-term care rider plus life insurance with an investment outcome. So let me share with you different scenario when you put different amount of money. So first, let's look at if you only put in. Let me see. So if you put in 7K per year, why I use this number? Because a lot of people, I think Roth IRA, you like putting money into Roth IRA because it's never taxed. So this product is similar, a little bit similar as Roth IRA in terms of the tax part. And Roth, you can only put in 6K every year. So I use 6K plus 1160, which is 7160. I use this number. And let me show you the results, and you can understand a little bit more. Again, for age 35 female, putting into 7160 per year until because we wanted to compare long-term care until age 76. Total you put into 293K, and by year 75, your money put in 286K, your money grow into 86就是86万，你放进去20万变成了86万 ，long-term care 的部分还是62万5，可以理解吧？ So let's look at the long-term care part. Long-term care part is 652K, and for the cash value part, which I just shared, by age 75, your 280K put in the investment and insurance can grow into 860K, and also the life insurance part you have 923K death benefit. So and also if you choose to start taking out money from age 76, you can take out 80K per year from age 76 to age 90. So this is the amount you totally put into 290K, and you take out 1.2 cash, no tax, without tax, from this option, which is long-term care rider plus. So we talk about Microsoft and Amazon internal, we can get 380K with similar 48K investment, and with the long-term care you can get 652, and with long-term care rider plus life insurance you still get 652K as long-term care. So this is the long-term care part. And for cash value part, like the first scenario is we invested 7160 per year, which means 600块钱一个月. So you can take out 80K per year as for your retirement, and total 1.2 cash. Is it clear?
Yeah, so that's 7,000, that's on top of the 1,100 a year.
Yes.
Okay, so on top of this 1,100 a year, that's the life that's the LTC.
So
7000
块钱7160，你的 LTC 只有255一个月，除去那个全是在 insurance 里面 ，insurance 和 investment 里面，明白了吧？
I see. Okay.
So here's the long-term care cost part. So for option 1, it only costs 255 per year. Total, looking at 40 plus years, total is less than 20K. The second option is 48K. Third option is 48K as well.
That makes sense. Yes. So that makes sense. So the 252 per year, that money is gone. That money cannot be used for investment.
Yes.
Right. That's okay. That totally now it all makes sense. Yes.
Okay. So I want to give 3 scenarios, but let me give you the results. So if you invest 7K, which means 600 per year per month, then you can take out 80K per year, total 1.2 million. If you invest a little bit more, maybe 2,000 per year, a little bit more, 800 per month, then you can take out almost 120K per year for retirement. That's pretty big amount, and total 1.78 million. And if you invest a little bit more faster, you can take out 150K per year and total 2.31 million. So let me show you the numbers of the second and third scenario. So with 9,500 per year until age 76. So by age 75, you put into 380K, the money grow into 1.2, almost 1.3 million, and you have 1.3 million that life insurance death benefit. And from age 76 to 90, you can take out almost 120K per year for retirement. So it's pretty big chunk. If you only start, at age 35, 800 a month. So you can, from this example, you can see how powerful is the 时间就是金钱, time value of money. And for long-term care part, it's the same. It's the same 252K, and it's also just 200 per year. I'm very quickly going to show you third way to funding the money. So this is just a different way of you funding the money, but the result you can see either you can take out 80K or 120K, and this result is even bigger, 150K per year. So this scenarios of funding money is, at the beginning, you put into a big trunk, first year 40K, second year 40K, third year 40K, fourth year 23K, and then just a little amount because the government doesn't allow you to put into too much. I'm not going to get into too details, but I can help you understand why is that, which is about the rule of 77702. And then from age 51, you start to put into 9K until age 76. So by age 75, you put into 390, and the 390 grow into 1.6 million, and you still have 1.2 million life insurance. And using the money from age 76 to age 90 as retirement money, you can take out 150K per year. So total, which is 2 million, like I just conclude in the chart. So putting into 400K, you take out 2 million, which is more than 5 times. And also that's the cash value part, and also long-term care part. You still get a 652K, and the cost is only 200-ish per year. So as I think it's a lot of information, so I'm just going to go to the conclusion part of my. So first is long-term care rider plus life insurance. Second is long-term care insurance. Third is your own company solution. And I just showed you the data. I'm not going to compare again. So you may wonder, so how should I choose? Should I choose 1, 2, or 3? So my guidance or advice to you is first is think about your goal. Your goal is investment with cash flow, cash value growth potential, and just plus a long-term care availability to qualify the exemption of the Washington CARES Fund, or you just want to focus on long-term care. Second is think about your green card, because for a lot of the long-term insurance, if you're not green card holder, you cannot open it. Third is how many years you expect to use long-term care and how much money you want to use for long-term care. We will share more about that part later, so you have better clear roadmap in your head. Fourth is, do you want to use internationally or not? So I just briefly compare a little bit about nationwide long-term care and Microsoft and Amazon internal option. So if you're H1B F1, you can buy your own company option, but nationwide we couldn't provide. So for Microsoft, you can only use 1.37 years. So let me show you back the website. So it shows here, benefit duration, you can only use 1.37 years. So with the 270K, you can only use less than 1.5 years. But with Nationwide, you can use from 2 to 7 years. And Nationwide has the cash indemnity. I'll have Jimmy to explain that later. And whether you can use internationally, so Microsoft, you can only use up to 365 days for international, which means if you retire out of the US. And for Nationwide long-term care, the first 2 years you can use internationally. And for long-term care plus insurance, you can 100% use overseas. Underwriting process, Microsoft option and need to have 10 to 12 weeks, which means almost 3 months for the underwriting. I don't know why it's that long, but you do have the free look period if you want to cancel it. So because the deadline is approaching, June 10th, if you want to, try your company option, you can apply it. And then you have 3 months to compare different alternatives. If eventually you like the alternatives better than the Microsoft and the Amazon internal option, you can just have the free look period and also don't accept that. I hope I explain that， 就是因为它要3个月的时间审批，所以如果你拿不定主意，你可以先申请，在这3个月你再去看其他的 option。最后如果你不要的话，你就说不要，因为他给你30天的一个 free look 的 period， 就是说他给你30天的时间选择，你可以最后他给你了，你也不要。So the conclusion is that we can see the nationwide long-term care provide almost double the benefit than Microsoft and Amazon internal option. And the second, when we use the money, Nationwide has the cash indemnity, which means it's very flexible. We can use when our spouse taking care of us or our niece taking care of us, etc. The third is the benefit duration is much longer than 1.37 years. The fourth is you can use internationally versus this option has much more limitations on the time, on where you can use and different angles. You may wonder, so how should I choose? So I want to touch a little bit on the 定位. So long-term care rider plus life insurance, it's focused much on the cash value, the money you can use. You just see the 3 scenarios. You can basically use more than 1 million, when you're retired. Second, it gives you life insurance. Third, it's the safety net for long-term care. So just for age 35 to 45, to have this option. And long-term care insurance, it's only focused on long-term care. And it has more long-term care benefit than the first option, and suggest for people age 50. Maybe if Jimmy, if you have different opinion, welcome to add on. That's it. And also tackle a little bit on the question Daniel asked whether we can use the money. This example, age 36, we put into 39K, and this is the amount we can use. So this column is the amount we can use. The first year you can use, 90% of the 24K, like 20K, you can use it, you can take out. And by second year, within the 63K, you can use like 50K. By third year, 100K, you can use 80 or 90K. So it's very flexible as well. So it's not like you put money there 5 to 10 years, you cannot touch it. It definitely is not. 那就是说总结来说怎么办？那第一就是要想选择公司还是自己买。那现在 obviously 公司只给到20多万、30多万，外面买可以60多万。basically 应该是外面买的要更好啦。那时间上是11月1号之前要买好，因为这个你肯定做选择，你要去思考，最好要留2个月。因为如果是 long-term care rider 加 insurance 的审批都要2个月，那就回推的话，就是9月1号之前要去申请。那你留1到2个月的时间去 understand、去 choose、make a decision。所以我的建议是最晚7月初就要开始了解，大概就是最晚就是1个月以后了解加决定。然后要了解你公司的政策，如果需要的话可以跟经纪人一起打电话。然后你要去思考你自己的需求，你自己的需求 based on 什么呢？就是还是要想想你的目标是什么。你的目标是只是不想要交税，还是说你现在要开始一个全盘的一个规划？我们的建议呢，就是2个方案嘛。第一个是 long-term care rider 加 long-term care insurance， 第二个呢就是 long-term care insurance。那我们要去对比1和2，这里面要考虑很多的东西，我提出来一下。就比方说我要放进去多少钱，我期待能用多少钱，我期待 long-term care 用多少钱，这里面有很多的 element。第一个是你有没有绿卡，会阻碍到你是否可以买所有的产品。就是打算在哪里退休，如果你打算在中国退休的话，那你 Microsoft、Amazon 公司的也不行，因为它只有1年给在外面用。第三个就是你想要的 quality life， 他刚刚说了 Jimmy 刚刚说了，如果你想要住好的养老院，你要准备20万1年，你要准备多少钱？第4个你可以存多少钱？就比方说1个月是600、800、1000，你存不同的钱，最后拿出来也不一样。下面一个就是100%的家庭财务的方案，因为现在其实为什么要有这个法案？他希望给大家一个 incentive push 大家去想一下，我的一个保险、长期护理和养老到底在我的家庭财务里面，跟我的股票、基金、房产、退休金、省税投资、保险怎么样去分配？所以我们要思考呢，就是第一，我们有多少钱可以去流动资金要去投资；第二，每个月可以存多少钱；第三个，你的回报率的期待是怎么样？比方说7%、8%，你 OK 的话，那第一个选择是给你这样的一个保本回报。第三个，那像 这个 engineer 大部分都有高风险投资股票，股票如果占了你所有 portfolio 的90%，那可能是不太健康的。如果是占了20-30%，那怎么跟房产和这个低风险的去配比？然后那有的朋友可能3年5年以后小孩子要上学，那怎么样？什么时候钱要用？那这笔钱从哪里来？然后教育基金要存多少？5万1年够不够？那要存20万。养老金要拿多少？像我刚刚举的几个例子，一个是拿8万，第二个是拿12万，第三个是拿15万。那还有什么时候财富自由？是否回国？父母来美国养老，为什么要提出这一点？就是父母来美国的时候，他是什么身份？他的养老金是自己搞定，还是我们作为子女要帮他们规划？如果我们自己作为子女要帮他们规划的话，这个钱从哪里来？是从我的房子里面来，还是从我的退休金？退休金是60岁以后才能用，动不了。父母养老的时候，可能就在未来的10年。如果现在我35岁、45岁的时候，我的 401k 是动不了的，我的 Roth 401k 也动不了。还是说这个钱是可以从刚刚的第一个 option long-term care rider 加上 life insurance 我保本的钱，如果需要用的时候我可以动。我为什么要把这一点加进来？然后最后就是建议夫妻双方一起咨询，因为华盛顿是要求每一个人都要有自己 qualified 的 long-term care insurance 才可以去得到 exemption。那最后的话就是还是第一个是绿卡 issue， 第二个就是全盘的一个家庭财富的计划。那我是作为经纪人，如果是最后就是只需要我帮忙做这样一个 design 的话，就是大概每2次咨询$200帮你 design 一个全盘的规划，或者是$500一个家庭。但是我们就是给你选择产品，那个是不用客户出钱的，就像房产经纪一样，他带你看房。那我们最后帮你选择合适的产品，我帮你打交道不同的产品公司，最后选的话是不用客户付钱的。那评估要多少 long-term care？我是10万1年、20万1年呢？我是10万1年还是20万1年？我要3年还是5年？所以的话，我觉得需要比较好的生活的话，60到100万的 long-term care 的准备是需要的。again 两个 option long-term care insurance focus long-term care， 第二个 long-term care rider 加 insurance 呢是 focus 现金流，长期的省税保本投资，然后能够 qualify cares fund opt out 的需求。最后我就不赘述了。有绿卡这2个都可以，没有绿卡只能选第一个。然后夫妻双方每个人都要有自己的。那接下来的话就是一般这个设计是需要花 back and forth 至少2-3次的沟通和 design， 来找到比较适合的一个 design， 因为你看到了放钱可以不一样的方法。然后一般
谢谢大家的收看。那Jen给粉丝特别的福利呢，有下面3种：第一，参加系统的财商学习；第二，免费1对1的财务咨询；第三，如果你对金融行业有兴趣，那 Jen 的财务咨询公司呢也在招实习生，还有 part time。怎么样参与呢？欢迎点击 description 的 Google Server link 回答你想要参与财务学习，还是1对1咨询，还是金融行业、税务行业的从业机会，那我们的工作人员会来联系你。谢谢大家的关注，我们下一期再继续来了解税务知识，和 Jen 一起来喝茶聊理财。